When it comes to dispute and disagreement, is one common thing that happens a lot in marriage. And while very many couples get involved in these, many of them do not understand that there are some very serious consequences that comes with disputes and disagreements. When you understand the consequences, you and your spouse, you will do everything you can to avoid these things. I know that in most cases you cannot really avoid it, okay? There are times when it just have to be there, but learning how to manage disputes, it's so important. And I have done that video. I will just put the link in the description box below. You can even see the thumbnail now showing on your screen. Okay, I have done that, how to manage these things. But then, while it is good to manage dispute, it is also very important to avoid it because of the consequence that comes with it. Now, by the way, my name is Franklin from Couples Talk. If this is your first time of coming to this channel, we talk about marriage, we talk about relationship and how you can succeed in all of these. Okay, so if you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing to this channel if these kind of things interest you. And most importantly, it is a faith-based channel where we share with you God's opinion about marriage, God's opinion on how you can excel in your marital journey. So without wasting much time, let's get right into it. One of the first consequences that disagreement brings into marriage is that it brings division. The moment when disagreements and disputes are consistent, the man and the woman, they begin to grow far apart. They may not know it, but you see, this is the idea of division. And division is coming from the word division. That is, the both of you are now beginning to have separate vision. Your vision is no longer one. You are now beginning to have separate vision. Okay, you are harboring resentment, she is harboring resentment, and both of you begin to have separate vision about the marriage. It won't take long before you begin to consider divorce, because when there is a double vision, then the both of you can no longer be together. So you have to avoid it so that it doesn't get to that point where your marriage will not be at risk. Get the point now? So the first consequence is that it brings division into the marriage. The second one is that it opens spiritual doors for satanic attack. That moment when the both of you are arguing and insulting each other and raising your voices at each other, you may think that it's just a normal thing, but guess what? As you are doing that, you have opened a door in the realm of the spirit, and the enemy will come in and begin to minister to you and minister to your spouse. And before you know what is happening, because this is what division causes, it opens the wrong doors, and the enemy sees it as an opportunity to come into the marriage and destroy the marriage completely. This is why it has to be avoided. It's a major consequence in marriage when it comes to dispute that needs to be avoided. Now, the next one here is that it affects the finances of the house. Come on, over and over again, we've counseled people, me and my wife, we've counseled people, and this is one thing that we've come to understand. The very moment a man and a woman, they begin to have issues in their marriage, they are always quarreling, they're always fighting, financially everything will be dry. The reason is because the both of you are no longer working together in agreement. The Bible says, can two work together except they agree? You see that now? As long as that agreement is no longer there, everything begins to scatter, including finances. Maybe you're listening to me right now and you and your spouse are always having disagreement. Watch your finances. You'll be shocked. Nothing is happening there. I can boldly say it because I know. You see that now? The Bible says that he who finds a wife findeth a good thing and obtains favor from God. When you disagree with your spouse, you puncture that favor. That favor will no longer be strong enough to deliver to you the financial blessings that you desire. So that's why you have to avoid disagreements. Avoid it again and again. The next thing that disagreement causes is that it lays a bad foundation for your children to follow. You may not think that your children are watching. Every move you and your spouse make, your children are watching. As a matter of fact, I've come to understand that as parents, we are the role models of our children. You may not know it, you may not think about it, but you are an immediate influence in their life. You have a huge influence in their life. Whatever foundation you lay, that's the foundation they will pick up. If you're a man, you lay hands on your wife again and again, hear me, you've just opened that door. You've just taught your child the same thing. I remember some years ago, I was living in a particular house, And the landlord of that house, he was fond of drinking. Every evening, he would come back home drunk, and his son was looking at him. There was a night when I saw him, he was very drunk, and the son came to me and said, "Don't mind my daddy." He said, "My daddy is drunk," and he was laughing. Now, what kind of life do you think that boy is going to live? As far as he's concerned, drinking is not a challenge. Drinking is not a bad thing. So he would also want to go in that direction. If you raise your children in an environment where you guys are always quarreling and arguing, and that is what your son will learn. That is what your daughter will learn. That's what they will pick up, and that's what they will carry to their own homes as well, because they learned it from you. So this thing, you may not think that it is playing a role, but it's a major consequence that should be avoided. You get the point now? So that's something that you need to work on. The next thing is that it impacts your love and respect for each other. Trust me, when it comes to marriage, you must protect your love for each other. Many couples don't think it is necessary. They just feel that, but you see, that initial spark that is there when you get married, after a while, it will no longer be there. Make no mistakes about it. It will no longer be there. Not because you are no longer in love with the person. You are still in love with the person, but the spark is no longer there. Now, you have a responsibility. You and your spouse have a responsibility to nurture, to keep nurturing your love for each other. You nurture it through several things, going out together, maintaining that love for each other. Now, if you don't nurture it, if all you do is fight and quarrel again and again, you are destroying that love and respect. It won't take long, you will no longer love your spouse. It won't take long, you will no longer have respect for your spouse. And at this point, you no longer have a marriage. You are just together, but you no longer have a marriage. I mean, what is marriage if the man has got no respect or regards for the wife, and the wife have no respect or regards for the husband? Think about it. When it gets to this point, it's over. So I just want to encourage you to think about this. The next time you and your spouse, you are having disputes, don't forget these thoughts and quickly dose that fire before it gets out of hand. So that'll be all for this video. I trust and I believe that you've learned something from this video. I just want to encourage you to ponder on these thoughts. Drop your comment. Let me know what you think. Most importantly, give the video a thumbs up and share with your friends and families, men and women whom you know that this thing will a very long way to help them. All right, that'll be all for this video. I'll see you in the next video. By the way, the link to my book, Marriage Made Easy, I'll just drop a description box below. Go check it out, and I'm telling you, it's a short read that will bless you a great deal. Until then, I will see you when I see you. God bless you.